What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, sport events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to a video about the Ben and Jerry's ad backfiring on them. These companies just can't learn their lessons about dabbling into politics. You know, Ben and Jerry's needs to focus on actually just making ice cream and stay out of politics, because that's what, as a business, that's what you do. You provide a product or service. Your job isn't to lecture people on who they should vote for and who their politics should be. Before we get into that, though, I want to play a advertisement from promopalace.biz.
Then look no further than Promo Palace LLC, your one-stop shop for all music promotion services. Services include Spotify playlist pitching, YouTube video promotion, record pool promotion, blog placements, radio airplay promotion, SoundCloud promotion, and much more. With over 2,000 customers and over 10 years of experience in online promotion, Promo Palace LLC is a company you can trust. For more info, please go to promopalace.biz. See you there.
That's right, you heard a beautiful lady. If you need online marketing promotions, please check out promopalace.biz. You see it scrolling below. Get marketing and promotions at promopalace.biz. Okay, let's pull it up. Forgot to add this Ben and Jerry's video. Where we go? Where the video go? Da 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 da. Where we at? Bear with me for a second. Where did I do with this video? Where did I do with this video? There we go. I'm about to get into it. Here we go.
Ben and Jerry's return their stolen land the HQ is built on, to return what they have stolen from them. You see, Ben and Jerry's tweeted out on the 4th of July, or I think it wasn't on the 4th of July. Did they have the tweet in the article? That, we are all on stolen land or whatever. I love it. They're now seeing a boycott because of it. Times of Israel says Ben and Jerry sees boycott call after July 4th appeal to return stolen indigenous land. They said on the 4th of July, it's hilarious. This 4th of July, it's high time we recognize the U.S. exists on stolen indigenous land and commit to returning it. Learn how to take more action now. I got an idea. Y'all can put your money where your mouth is and give back the land and start paying rent to the Native Americans whose land you're on. How about that?
Yeah, but that's not going to happen because, see, the problem is with all these liberal, far-left Democratic messages is you can always find a crack in there somewhere. You always look and you see there's a crack. And you know what that crack always leads to? A double standard or an hypocrisy. I would argue that all land on the planet is probably not occupied by the original people who occupied those lands. So yeah, there's that. So is everybody just gonna give land back to just everybody? I mean, and more I watch movies like Viking movies, and more I watch what's going on with the war in Russia and Ukraine, and the more I look at geography and Europe and Africa and Asia and all these other countries. Like take for example in Arabic countries. Arabic countries had to do some conquering. Why did they have to do some conquering? Because they don't have a lot of resources in the middle of the desert. Duh. I mean, we gotta apply common sense and common knowledge to this. Like, why do most people conquer? For resources. American land is some of the most fertile, if not the most fertile farmland on the planet. You get down to South America, you can grow all the fruits you want. I mean, between North and South America, you can grow pretty much any crop that you could think of. You could grow plenty food. Some of these other countries, they can't even grow crops. Like Irish had a famine for 400 years where they only had potatoes. Like Russia, what the hell are they growing in Russia? What the hell are they growing in the middle of the desert? What the hell are they growing in the middle of the desert in Egypt and a lot of these places? You know, um, Nothing, man. A lot of these places, even like the Vikings where they were at in Norway and stuff like that, there isn't like this just great farmland, and it's super cold a lot longer in places like that, which is you can't grow nothing when it's super cold like that. So yeah, man, people never apply common sense and common knowledge that um conquering was going to happen regardless, because there wasn't a lot of resources over there, um across the pond, as the English say. Across the pond there wasn't a lot of resources in a lot of places. A lot of those places didn't have a lot of resources to grow food and things of that nature. So, I always thought the Vikings were always conquering just to conquer. No, partially why they were conquering was they were looking for farmland as well. So we try to always, you know, label them as these savage brutes that just conquered for no reason. Like they just did it for sport.
Readers added context as despite Ben and Jerry's supposed commitment to returning land they feel was stolen, they have yet to reach out to the tribe whose land their HQ is on and arrange a return of the land to them. Oh boy. I love this one. Well,
I do
the
too.
tribe is making the demand. They say, good sirs, we will take you up on your offer. You must give us the land back. From 13 ABC, they say, members of an indigenous tribe who are descendants of Native Americans have reportedly expressed interest in taking back the land now occupied by popular ice cream makers Ben and Jerry's after the company made a controversial call for America to return stolen land. Chief of the Nulhagen Band of the Kusuk Abenaki Nation, Don Stevens, tells Newsweek that his tribe is always interested in reclaiming the stewardship of our lands. But the ice cream company has yet to contact them regarding land its headquarters now sits on.
Of course. Of course, because this is how it always works. It's like when people say these things, they don't they're not telling themselves to give back land to Native Americans. They're telling everybody else they got to. This is how virtue signaling always works. Anybody who virtue signals, it never really applies to them. Like once you tell them to do whatever they're virtue signaling about, oh no, I didn't mean me. I meant, everybody else. That's how it always works. And yeah, like they shot themselves in the foot with this one, put they own foot in their mouth with this one, because now the hypocrisy and the double standard is coming out just because you want to virtue signal and play politics instead of sell ice cream.
Let me know what I can do, guys. I am a firm believer of live and let live, to a great degree. And that is to say that if you believe in free speech, well, then I believe I will respect your right to free speech and we all speak and have that debate. And if you oppose free speech, then I agree with you and I will censor you at every turn. You see how that works? You do unto others as they would have you do. You do unto others as they would do unto you. Right? The idea being, if someone says speech should not be free, I'll say, okay, well, then we'll censor you. Right? Because what you're advocating for applies to you, not others.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Bam. What I just say. Every time they spew these, crazy radical statements, they are not. They're not talking about themselves. They're talking about everybody else. It applies. They're trying to make it apply to everybody else but themselves, and that's where the hypocrisies and the double standards come in with this shit.
We're advocating for the way the world should be in how we want to live. But you do not get to tell other people how to live. So if you say I'm for free speech, I'll be like, well, I'll protect your free speech then. If you say I'm against it, well, So if Ben and Jerry's demands the return of stolen indigenous land, well, then, okay, well, all right, let's start with you.
Yeah.
And I will help facilitate that exchange. That is to say, I will absolutely look into how I can help the Cushic Abenaki Nation get their land back. I would love to pursue that. Absolutely, 100%.
Of course he will.
I wouldn't in every capacity because I don't believe in that. I believe we're well beyond this point. Nations get conquered all the time. It's a tragic reality of history. We don't do those things now. We try not to, but sometimes it still happens.
But every nation has been conquered over and over and over again. Every great empire crumbled and collapsed. They were all beaten and destroyed. Because when there's a great empire, there's always a greater empire. I think we're past this point. Should something have been done right away? Yes. But there's also an hypocrisy of Native Americans were conquering other Native Americans for their resources in their land. We really got to stop this shit. This horse shit double standards of, it's okay if we do it to ourselves, but when somebody else does it to us, oh no, they're evil. They're the worst person in the world. It's like, slavery, same thing with slavery. Oh, Africans enslave other Africans. That's fine. White man slave that buys slaves from Africans. Oh, we're the devil. We're the worst, the most evil people on the planet. First of all, we didn't invent slavery. Africans invented slavery. We're being called the most evil people on the planet for something we didn't even invent. If Africans and black people are first on this planet, they also invented slavery. That's facts. That's facts. Egyptians were Africans. They enslaved people long before Europeans were enslaving people. long before so we gotta stop with this hypocritical stance of, oh, we can do it to each other and it's okay, but as soon as somebody of the opposite race or culture does it to us, it's the most evil thing on the fucking planet. Same thing with what goes on in Chicago, black kids killing black kids every day, and then we want to say cops are, LeBron wants to say cops out here hunting down black people, but they're not killing them every day. So what are we talking about here? Hunters are killing every day if they can. They're trying to kill, something every single day. So we got to stop with these over exaggerations, these false narratives, these hypocritical stance, these double standards, and that's what's going on here. It's like, Ben and Jerry's like, yeah, everybody else got to give back stolen indigenous land except Ben and Jerry's. What? You fucking hypocrites.
Got Chinese expansion in the South China Sea and things like that. So, we get it. But look, I'm here to help. Ben and Jerry's is trying to give back this land, and the Native Americans would like it back. Please let me know how I can assist. Maybe we'll get a billboard in Times Square or something. We've done that quite a bit, haven't we? The ice cream company added in that tweet a link to its website where it further detailed its call to action, saying America should start by returning Mount Rushmore. Well, that's difficult because that's a government thing, but we can start with your land. The ice cream maker's words stirred a wave of backlash that has led to calls for a boycott and even a dip in the company's stock. Wow. The Abenaki Nation, which is a confederacy of many tribes that banded together to stop the encroachment of rival tribes, at one time controlled an area of land in America that now spans from northern Massachusetts to New Brunswick, Canada, according to Newsweek. That reportedly means the land is home to the Ben & Jerry's headquarters in South Burlington, Vermont. That land was once part of the Abenaki Nation's territory. Critics had pointed to this fact And some online even called the ice cream company hypocrites for not returning the stolen land it sits on
They
while
are.
calling for others to do so. Ben & Jerry's has so far not publicly responded to calls
Of
for
course not.
to return its headquarters land. The national desk has reached out to the ice cream company, but has yet to hear back. If a response is received, it will be added to this article. All right.
Yeah, this is just like the Bud Light campaign. Bud Light sits there and says, "Oh, you got this chick who was actually drinking beer like a frat boy in college, sitting there saying, "Oh, we got to get away from the frat boy image of beer drinking." Well, that's who drinks beers, frat boys, and men who work hard every day, 9 to 5, and come home and want to drink a beer and watch a football game on Sunday while they're drinking a beer. That's who drinks beers. Duh. 85% of beer drinkers are men, so you can say it's a frat boy kind of thing. So it's like we want to get rid of the frat boy image, and we want to appease this 1% of the population who can't even drink, and most of them can't even drink beer yet for another 7 years. But we want to market to them, and in the process, we're going to alienate our frat boy beer drinkers, and then we start to realize, oh, our frat boy beer drinkers will stop buying beer from us. Well, what do you expect, you stupid fucks? You alienate them. And then you try to, you try to backtrack a little bit and do some Americana ads. And then you also try to double down on the transgenderism and stuff. And it's like, okay, well, now you got the LGBTQ plus mafia pushing back on you and saying, "Hey, if you're going to support us, then support us 1,000%," and you didn't, and alienated like over half your consumer base and lost 25% of it, and you're not going to get it back. Ben and Jerry's are doing the same thing, because now you sit there, you take this virtue signaling woke stance and telling everybody else to get back land, but you don't want to get back land. And now you got Native American tribes like, well, okay, and what about you? How about you give back land first? Thank you. Since you're all for giving back land, yeah, appreciate it. How about you give back the land that your corporate headquarters is on? How about that? But I'm with Tim Pool. We're way past that. We're way past giving back land. And it's like Yellowstone, the TV show, which I really like Yellowstone because they get into a lot of the Native American stuff. And there was something he said on there is reservations were supposed to be a temporary thing, that he said we were supposed to go learn how to live white. But that's the thing, like living in civilizations isn't just a white thing, because black people invented civilizations. Africa invented civilizations. And part of being civilizations means living civil. We all agree on morals and rules, and we get along for the most part. That ain't a white man thing. That ain't just a European thing. Like, we didn't invent civilizations. That's horse shit. Civilizations were invented in Africa, in Egypt, and other places long before Europe. So this idea of living in civilizations is just a white European Western civilization thing. It's horseshit. It's horseshit. It's such bullshit. And when you live in civilizations, guess what? There's rules, there's regulations that we all have to follow. Or guess what? It's not a civilization. It's not civil at all. It's just every man for thyself. You know, it's a free for all. So yeah, man, like, oh man, people just spew so many false narratives. So many false narratives. Um, yeah, companies, businesses, stop taking a political stance. Stop virtue signaling. Stop trying to lecture me when I go to buy some ice cream. Stop trying to lecture me when I go to buy a soda, when I go to a restaurant and eat. when I go to buy a T-shirt from Target, if I want to go buy some beer, how about you stop fucking lecturing me and let me just buy my fucking beer and enjoy my beer without you trying to shame me into conforming into your views. So businesses, I hope I hope music promo companies start doing this. I hope a shit ton of music promo companies just start taking political stances so I can just get all their business and all their customers can come to me, because I'll never take a political stance. I'm not going to alienate, none of my consumers when, a lot of Democrats, a lot of Republicans, and a good portion of probably libertarians and part of the People's Party as well, and some might be socialists and communists. Yeah, and that's fine if they make music. I'm in the business of promoting music. I don't judge, a musician on how well I'm going to promote their music based on their political views and their political stance. I would never ever do that. I would never go into this biased mindset. I don't even judge the music myself personally to say, well, hey, I don't really like this song, so I'm not going to put any real effort into marketing and promoting this song. No, it's not for me to say. It's not for me to judge. It's for the fans, the consumers to say whether they like this song or not. Because, there's plenty music out there, especially in the hip hop realm, that I don't like and I would not buy as a consumer or have interest in as a consumer. But these artists have millions and millions of listeners, and who am I to say that there's not fan base out there for other artists like them when these artists similar to them got millions and millions of listeners, and I don't even like their product. I don't even like what they have to offer in the music business, but that's not for me to judge. It's for me to just provide a high quality service to everyone that, no matter whatever service they pay for, it's up to me to provide that service and provide the best service possible and not be biased and not prejudge and not, worry about political views of my clients and my customers and trying to shame them into voting one way or thinking another way. So once again, I'll thank y'all for tuning in. Paul Pickett Podcast. And I actually love reacting to any videos that have to do with businesses virtue signaling or trying to play politics or go woke, because I'm a businessman. I'm self-employed. I'm in the marketing advertisement business, and it just reeks me that these businesses keep doing it and they don't see that this is the worst marketing strategy ever, alienating half your consumer base for no reason at all, for things you don't even truly believe in. Because Ben and Jerry's don't even believe in giving back indigenous land because they're not going to do it themselves. They just want a virtue signal and look good in front of a small portion of people. Once again, I'll thank you for tuning in, Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.